Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, creatures of all shapes and sizes, those who have got hard membranes and those who've got soft membranes, to Geek Syndicate episode 216. We're bringing the sass back to Geekdom in our first episode of 2014. That's 2K14, people. Yeah. I am Mons, and you are...
The Thinking Woman's Crumpet.
Could I ask... Did you decide this, or was this a public vote? Where did this come from?
It was both. It's both a public vote, and I decided.
Could you perhaps point us to a place where we could find evidence of the public vote?
Yes, if you head to www.barrythethinkingwomanscrumpet.com, you'll get all the answers there. There's a whole interview with me there, some portfolio shots that I did. And more stuff. So yeah, head over there. I'll put the link in the show notes. It's a great read.
No worries for the link. I'm actually searching it in Google right now. Thinking Women's Crumpet. Let's see what comes up.
What? Thinking What?
It's a picture of lots of
Manicures?
Manicures.
That's a different site. It's the old site. I need to change it. It's the old site. Should have been .net, but it's fine. Don't go looking for it now because it won't be there.
Well, that's the news for our new listeners. You know what I realised? You never ever introduce yourself. No one ever knows your name. If you get a new listener, they'll never know your name.
That's the whole point, man. I don't want people turning up.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Ringing me up and stuff and camping outside the house. Oh, I'm sorry up my own arse today.
Anyway, as some of you may have gleaned, we've got guests, and they are Geek Syndicate members.
Shar, Mirjana.
Why are you in England? Because you don't talk like English people.
What? We're on vacation.
That's holiday.
We came to the podcast.
Right.
Specifically.
Yeah.
Okay. And who'd have thought that we'd be warmer than New York?
And we're not paying for your flight either, just going to say.
Hey now.
Nah.
They're in my house. I'm not even paying for their food. They brought it with them.
I know, we brought the booze too.
Yeah, it's all good. So the first thing to do actually is to give a huge shout out to Barry and Ant, who have done a tremendous amount of work on the new Geek Syndicate website, which looks freaking awesome.
Thank you. I will take a bow now, which no one can see, but I've just taken a bow.
Press pause on the device of your choice, whether you're listening to us on. Go check out. Actually, don't press pause. You can actually listen while you're doing this. Check out. Use your phones. Use your iPad. Use your Android devices. Use your Windows stuff and your Nokia Lumi thingies, and check out geeksyndicate.co.uk because it looks so dang good.
Or you can go to geek-syndicate.com and you can find it there too. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Well, now you know.
Wow.
Oh, sometimes it's just embarrassing.
Up your bum.
Yeah. Do you know, when you introduced yourself, because of the sort of like the mic and all the rest of it, it sounded, and obviously I know what your names are, but it sounded like Shar and Mirjana. Yeah.
Is that our new band name?
It could well be.
Could be.
Obviously, I am Rihanna. I mean, look at me. Look exactly like.
Sounds like a comic series.
Right. Ask me a question, Dave.
What day is it?
No, ask me the question that we ask every time we record this podcast.
We've got any shout-outs?
Right. Yes. Yes, Dave, I have shout-outs.
What day is it, though?
The day before you get slapped. That's what day it is.
Jeez.
Thanks, girls. Dion has asked, what New Year's resolutions have we made in terms of geekdom? What are we going to do or stop doing in 2014 to make our geek lives better?
I like that. Do or stop doing. That's an interesting one.
Well, I've stopped buying like things. Like
Why?
geeky things.
Why?
Not like a lot of it. It just has to be like really either something I really, 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 really want, or like a really good quality. Like I stopped buying like just like vinyls and things like that. I just don't have the room for it. I live in New York City, man.
Well, do you know what? I think this is something that happens as you get older anyway. It's like you just don't have the room for. And it's one of the things I like about digital, being able to read things
Yeah.
digitally. If it's not something special, then you're saving yourself room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else?
What are you doing?
I think that I'm gonna try and get back to reading more comics. I had a couple of things that I was reading last year, and I just remembered how much I loved it. So I'm just gonna jump headfirst into all the stuff that's out there and try and figure out some more stuff that I like to read.
You just bought something, didn't you?
Yeah.
What'd you buy?
I bought Hawkeye, the collected edition.
Oh, so damn good!
Isn't it amazing? And I bought Age of Ultron as well.
Yeah, that's good.
Not as good as Hawkeye, no. But
I think mine's a little bit like Mirjana. I want to read more, but more books, because that's something that I've really, really has fallen by the wayside for me. I think my comics sort of picked up a bit more in 2013, which is one of the things I wanted to do. But I definitely want to read some more books, because there's a lot of cool novels out there at the moment that people are talking about that I want to sort of get on board with. So that's
Like what?
Actually, it was one you put me onto. You know The Gentleman Bastards?
Yes. Scott, what's his name?
Is it Scott Lynch?
Yeah.
He's got a new one out. So this is the third one.
Oh, I'm on that.
And I think because I saw that, that's what suddenly made me think, actually, I need to pick that up and I need to see what else is out there. So, and I've just finished reading a book called The Atomic Age by, I think it's Adam Christopher, which was really good.
I'm just gonna, for the sake of the girls who are going, what? I'm just gonna read the blurb for the first Scott Lynch book.
Mm-hmm.
It's called The Lies of Loch Lamora. In his stunning debut, author Scott Lynch delivers the wonderfully thrilling tale of an audacious criminal and his band of confidence tricksters. Set in a fantastic city pulsing with the lives of decadent nobles and daring thieves, here is a story of adventure, loyalty, survival that is one part Robin Hood, one part Ocean's 11, and entirely enthralling.
Ooh.
And it's totally awesome. You agree?
Yep, I agree, definitely.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
I just picked up all the Ben Aronovich.
Rivers of London.
Yeah, all those. And
I've got those as well
A new
to
one's
read.
coming out. I think the fourth one's coming out.
I got really
February?
upset. The fourth one's coming out, in February. I got really upset with the American publishers.
they
They
changed the
changed
name.
They not only changed the name, the cover of the first book.
It's really ugly.
Also, this is England, and it's set in London, and not every policeman automatically has a gun. And he's a
Yeah.
pretty low-down policeman, and on the American cover, he's standing there with a glowing orb from one hand and a smoking gun in the other. And I'm like, that's just not London, really.
I was looking for the first book on ebook because I have I have a physical copy of it, and I was like, I need the ebook. Looking for it on Amazon, looking for it, I'm like, it's not coming up. Why? Duh, they changed the title. I didn't know.
What's it changed to?
I don't even know what it's called. Something stupid. Even I tweeted it, and even he, like the author, he retweeted it. He's like, why the hell did they change the name? I don't understand.
Is it called The Rivers of New York now, then?
No, it's not even. There's no rivers in the title at all. I don't even remember. Like, it wasn't even remotely related to what it is.
Is that the
originally.
word London in it?
I don't think so.
No.
Wow. Okay.
We don't know where that is, apparently.
Anything else, B?
To wear my Stormtrooper onesie more.
Do you have a Stormtrooper onesie?
I got it for Christmas.
I will pay you to wear it to the shops.
How much will you pay me?
Tenner?
How much will you pay me?
No, that's all I got, man.
Right.
We have a bottle of wine, half bottle of wine. No, wait, probably like a little bit left of wine that we can give you.
I tell you, you three go away, right? you come up with a realistic figure, which I guarantee isn't the figure I'm thinking of, and then you come back to me.
$100 billion.
Okay. You send it via PayPal. Once I confirm receipt, I will pop down to the shops in onesie.
$100 billion.
Confirm receipt. Well, I want to... Do you know what? I want to do more stuff that's me. I'm an actor. I'm a performer. I want to do more geeky stuff that's that. So I want to start some kind of video blog thingy. I want to produce some science fiction theatre and be in it, of course. And, of course, none of that's going to happen because I haven't got any time and I've got a new baby coming this year. So I'm like, my resolutions are out before. It's just depressing.
Nah, you want to do what you want to do is like I was going to say a one-man show, but that wouldn't work. You want to do like a buddy sort of cop short with a Dalek, just called Monts and the Dalek.
Monster and the Dalek.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man.
What would happen?
You just have witty banter whilst driving in the car. I don't know how you get the Dalek in the car. That's all I got.
Turn that way.
Funnily enough, I saw something today. It was a Jamaican man trying to give a Trinidadian man driving lessons.
Oh.
It was hilarious.
Oh dear.
But oh no, the other thing I want to do, because it's been such a great year. Well, last year was such a great year for Who towards the end, and I've got a proper sort of Who fest going on. I want to start Time Law going again, which for those of you who don't know was the Doctor Who podcast I did with 2 other people, but life just got in the way. I just want to find a way to do it again because we all really enjoyed it. And just trying to find the time is hard, but I need these things to happen to make me happy inside.
You must.
Yes.
Find a way.
Yeah.
I want to go to new conventions, so I go to San Diego and New York are the 2 that I do a lot. So I'd like to go somewhere new. Emerald City Comic Con, Fan Expo in Toronto. There's a couple.
Thought Bubble in Leeds.
Oh well, a new country, my own country.
There's a,
Oh yeah, own your own country and then host your own con. That sounds like a...
Right.
I keep hearing about awesome comic conventions in France. I can't even say it's Angoulême, I think is a place. I said it probably really, really wrong, but everyone keeps talking about that's the most amazing comic convention in Europe.
Oh.
And actually, I keep bumping into people who say they're going to do that this year. So I'm like, of course I'm not going to go, but I could dream.
Oh, there you go.
All right then. Have we got any news? Have we got any? Because
You haven't even done the news intro. Come on, Dave.
sorry.
You need to just because you got pretty girls there. Do you know what I mean? You got a job to do. Do it properly.
right. Okay. So, with that done, it's time, of course, to move. And please, move with us into the news.
Let me just get my cuppa and then I'll move into the news.
What? I did all that and you weren't just ready to go.
I am ready now. I've got my cuppa. That's what I said. Let me get my cuppa and then move into news. I was, joining in with a segue. Bit of humour, a bit of banter. It's supposed to be what we do.
Shut your dish.
Right.
You're not on one of those actual segways though, right? Like those machiney things. It's not that, right?
What's the machiney thing?
You stand on it and you kind of lean forward and it drives you around.
What are they called?
Segways.
Why are they called that?
I don't know.
You two are scaring the hell out of me.
Seriously, you want to go on Broadway or something?
I'm a little,
Worse with the alcohol.
I'm a little bit scared.
Wow.
If you don't hear from Dave after a little while, you'll know what happened.
Yeah.
All right. So what you got? What you got?
What, news?
Yeah.
The Golden Globes are coming up this weekend, and Tatiana Maslany is nominated.
Finally.
From
Orphan Black.
awesome show.
I can't believe she hasn't got anything already. I mean, that's just shocking.
She won a Critics' Choice sort of thing, but nothing not a big industry one. This is the first one that's actually recognized. The awesomeness.
She works so damn hard.
Mm-hmm. So that's this weekend.
She deserves to win something.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's gonna be Twitter uproar if she loses.
Can you imagine?
Oh my god, I don't want to know.
It's such a fantastic show.
It's really good. It's coming back April 18th? 19th? Something like that.
Is that in the States though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. It's not to be like that, is it? Thought we were all friends here.
Possibly. You guys get Doctor Who ahead of us.
Yeah.
And Sherlock.
And Sherlock.
Yeah,
Which,
that's
by
right.
the way, we're missing out the last episode because we leave that day.
Hey.
I was just about to do that.
See, it's not nice when it's the other way around, is it?
It's fine.
All right. Well, let's. Any more news?
Yes.
Go on.
They're doing the Guardians of the Galaxy film.
I was just about. That was my damn piece of news. You
Snooze you lose, buddy.
yeah.
He's not wrong.
Bitchin'.
So they've released the first. Now I have not read a single issue of the Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know anything about him other than the fact that there's a badass raccoon.
Yes.
That's all I know. So I'm really excited about this because this is one of the first sort of Marvel films that I don't really know anything about, and I can just go in and enjoy it without having to take in loads of sort of comic baggage with me. So yeah, they put out the first official picture, and all I've got to say is, yeah, it's lovely. You got the big guy, you've got an alien, you've got a lovely woman and stuff, but the raccoon just looks badass.
The lovely woman is the daughter of Thanos.
Right, don't care. Raccoon.
Right, what I'm doing is that. So, like, I've never read any Guardians of the Galaxy before the last couple of months. So I'm reading it. It's by Bendis, Brian Michael Bendis, and pretty much his name was the only reason I thought I'd give it a look because I had no interest before. I got no attachment to it. I'm really, really enjoying it, except that Tony Stark's hanging around with them for some reason.
All right.
Hey,
So-
Iron Man.
Take out this. So what I'm doing is I'm showing the girls here a picture of Guardians of the Galaxy issue 5.
Mm-hmm.
So take out this woman on it,
Yeah.
and take out Iron Man.
Yeah.
So I'm just showing you this, and then I'm going to show you the picture of the movie picture thing, and tell me what you think.
Was Drax even in that one?
The raccoon looks cool.
Is that it?
No, I think Groot looks good.
That's the tree guy?
Groot?
Groot is the
Groot's
tree.
yeah.
Yeah, he looks
And that's
good.
Drax the Destroyer.
Isn't that Vin Diesel?
No, that's Batista. He used to be a wrestler.
Oh, no, the tree.
Oh, he's the voice of Groot. Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
He's the voice of Groot. Bradley Cooper is the voice of Rocket Raccoon, which is ridiculous to me, but whatever.
Who's Bradley Cooper?
The guy from the A-Team, isn't he?
Right, yeah, he's in A-Team. He's in
The Hangover films.
Hangover films.
He's just American Hustle.
Oh, him.
Yeah. He's
Silver
the
Linings
voice of
Playbook.
Rocket
Oh, he
Raccoon.
might be good. You don't know. He's an actor.
I would have liked to see Vin Diesel doing the voice for the raccoon.
Yes.
All gravelly.
Yeah.
That would have been badass. I just love the fact that everyone else is trying to look cool apart from the raccoon. He's just got his arms folded, just going, what?
Yeah, and it's a little. I think it's a little underwhelming as a group shot. They're just
Just kind
it's
of
like a lineup.
standing there.
I would have preferred to have seen an action shot, maybe.
So, you got any news, Dave? Or Shar or Mirjana, if you have any news?
All the news I had. I've been kind of
We've been very disconnected.
actually.
We've been
Being
seeing
away.
plays and stuff.
I know we saw David Tennant at the Barbican yesterday.
Yes.
Richard II. Nothing geeky, nothing to do with any geekiness except he's on Broadway, and then Matt Smith tomorrow. So it's Doctors on Stage.
Who Fest.
Yes. Who Doctors on Stage?
Cool.
Yeah,
That's
so
about it.
we've been kind of disconnected from everything.
I know, right?
Aside from Twitter.
Way to start the year.
Yeah.
The only thing I'm looking at is this whole thing of The Rock
Ooh.
tweeted that he had a big meeting with Warner Brothers redoing a DC movie.
Oh, it sounds like Vin Diesel. Trying to be like Vin Diesel.
But there's also speculation that Denzel Washington is going to be playing Jon Stewart, the Green Lantern.
Really?
What?
Just said speculation, man.
I don't see that happening.
Neither do I.
I don't see that happening. That sounds like nonsense to me.
Yeah, well, but there's no idea what the Rock is down for. There's lots of speculation online, of course, but yeah, no one's really sure.
Okay, shall we move on then?
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, sorry.
so where we at?
We're about to hit week that was.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was the news, or a simulation of, and it's time to move into that section called the week that was, or is it the year that was?
No, week/year.
Week/year that was.
Is that the TARDIS sound?
No, it's just generic sound effects.
Oh.
Jeez, not everything's about Doctor Who, although everything is.
Especially as the first thing I was going to say was, so Doctor Who Christmas special.
Yes.
All right, let's start there, shall we?
Yeah,
I
let's
just want to start by saying I have not watched it yet because I've heard things about it, and I would prefer to have the 50th be my last Matt Smith episode.
So you're actually not gonna watch it?
Nope. No,
Seriously,
I'm not.
that's a serious decision you've made.
No, I'm not going to watch it. I'm just going to carry on.
Not even
as if
see
it
the
never
regeneration.
happened. No.
Spoilers.
Nope. Spoilers! No,
You
I'm
mean
not
what?
going to watch it, no.
Yeah, she's very.
I would be
adamant.
disappointed in a not great send-off for Matt Smith because he is my favorite Doctor.
So this is based on opinions from people you trust.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, maybe.
Yourself included.
Well, yeah.
She trusts you.
Oh, has Dave already spoken about it then?
To them,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, you've not heard my opinion yet, though.
On then, B, take it away.
Change my mind.
Okay, no pressure then. I know this episode. I know this episode got a lot of flack online. I thought it was okay. I think the problem was for me was it was coming off the back of the 50th anniversary, which was always going to be a tough one to top. Let's be honest, because that just properly knocked it out of the park. But I don't know. I mean, we've already talked about it at length, Dave. But I just. Here's the thing: when I watched Day of the Doctor, I watched it, really enjoyed it. The next day, I sat down and watched it again, and then I think a couple of days later, I watched it again. I think I've watched it about 4 times now because it was that good. When I watched, is it Time of the Doctor?
Time of the Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. I watched it. I thought, oh, okay, and then I deleted it.
From the sound of what you're saying, though, it brings up a bigger issue.
Mhm.
Because the other day I had a little time, which was extraordinary in and of itself, and I thought I want to watch some Doctor Who. And I thought, what do I want to watch? And I went to a lot of David Tennant ones, like 42
Mhm.
and Impossible Planet and stuff, and they were like my go-tos. And I realised that I didn't have a single Matt Smith episode in there, even though I've in the things that I really wanted to watch again. Even though I've really enjoyed Matt Smith as the Doctor, and lots of people, and I think unfairly, Stephen Moffat's getting a lot of flack at the moment. Do you think, and this in the best possible taste, because this is true for every showrunner and every producer, is it time for Steve to move on?
No, I don't. I don't think so. For a start, I would watch. You know the 2-parter which had the angels in it.
Yeah.
Which was the one where he says you never put. I can't do what he says, but he says never put me in a trap. Basically, I thought that was a brilliant 2-parter, and so there have been some gems in there. I don't necessarily think it's time for him to move on. I think it's just maybe time for a bit of a refocus. And I think having a new actor coming in gives him a chance to do that, to sort of change the state of play. Because I know one of the things that people were sort of saying about that episode was that there was a lot of plots being tied up. And I personally didn't think they needed to be all tied up in that way. I would have rather have seen more time given over to, I don't know, other stuff. I thought Matt Smith was brilliant in it. He's always brilliant. He has some really good scenes in it. And that's what I mean. It's not an awful episode by any means. There's some really good stuff in there. I would have liked to have seen it be a 2-parter. Because I think it needed more time to if it's going to tie up all that stuff, I think it would have needed more time to do it. But there was just literally whole sections of Matt Smith sort of reeling off sort of plot, tying up a plot hole. You know what I mean? You could almost kind of have a little subtitle at the bottom to say plot hole number 1 being tied up, plot hole number 2 being. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's quite difficult for people to sort of take in. I don't necessarily agree with. I mean, one of the things people were sort of saying was it's really difficult for the casual person dipping in if they were going to watch that episode to sort of follow what's going on. But let's be honest. If you're dipping into watching an episode of Doctor Who and it's his last episode, I mean, come on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't think that's necessarily fair. Not every episode can stand alone because that's the nature of TV now as well. You could level that claim at so many shows. So I think that's a little bit of an unfair thing. My biggest thing was Why'd you have to make him old? Why have to stick him in loads of old makeup, man? I mean, I like some of it.
I was alright with that.
Yeah. I think the problem was there was supposed to be this element of like hundreds and hundreds of years passing, but it just didn't give me that same sort of sense. And it's almost like they used up all their sort of epicness on the 50th episode.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I was kind of
Epicometer was empty.
Yeah, I was kind of epicked out because I was kind of like, well, you know, you've just kind of unlocked.
My thing that I keep coming back to was I really like every idea they had in the episode. I liked every concept they had in the episode, and I don't think they really delivered on any of them.
Do you think it was like they were trying to do too many things? Because that's kind of what I got.
Yeah, I mean, I thought there was a lot going on, and I couldn't really concentrate on any one particular thing or even care about one particular thing. I think it was just like, okay, big, speech at the end, which is great. They, made him young again to give him, his last send-off, and then it was bam, done, the end. I was like, what the hell just happened? He's just gone just like that. At least when Tennant, regenerated into Matt Smith, there was a bit of, I guess ceremony to it, as it were. You saw a little more. You got a bit more of a feeling of Matt Smith as
that
a
was
doctor.
that was almost more fitting for Tennant because he didn't want to go, and to kind of drag it out like really emphasizes that sort of reluctance that he had.
Yeah.
Whereas it seems like, from what I've heard, that Matt Smith's doctor was more just sort of resigned to the fact that it was going to happen, so there was no really point to linger on it.
Maybe.
And they've all been different. Every single regeneration's been different.
Yeah.
And I did like the end. I liked the way he did give a really nice speech when everything sort of quietened down, and he gave a really nice speech in the TARDIS about it, and it was more kind of
your move.
It was more sort of Matt Smith talking as opposed to the Doctor, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
What I would do, Mirjana, is I'd just get someone to get you a clip of the regeneration bit, because I thought that was really nice. Even though it was fast, it was nice.
Yeah.
And that way you don't, if you don't, excuse the term, you don't sully yourself with the rest of it. You just get that last
Just
thing.
watch the important bit.
Because it was nice, and there's no plot points that relate to anything that happened before.
Absolutely nothing.
I mean, also as well, I don't want to just spend this just ragging on it, because there was some brilliant stuff in it. I thought the scene when they landed on the planet and they effectively landed in a snowfield surrounded by weeping angels was brilliant.
It's like, damn angels.
Yeah.
I noticed, but I think
No, I liked it. It didn't make any sense whatsoever, but I liked it.
Yeah, well, I wasn't saying it from a point of making sense. I was just saying that it was cool.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Do you know what I mean?
I'll go with that.
Because if you're going to go down that...
I said I was going to spend my time trying to dig out the positives in this one.
Yeah, well, do better.
All right, jeez.
Well, what positives did you take from it, Dave?
He's got different color kidneys. Now we know.
I liked... well, you kind of said the things I liked. I really liked Matt Smith's performance. I liked... Well, I said it. I liked all the concepts, and I loved the idea, and the execution just didn't match up. Unfortunately, I really liked the Cyberman head.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Yeah,
Handles.
Yeah, that was.
No, okay, you know what? I was more sad about Handles going than I was about the situation happening. Okay.
Sandals' death scene was Sandals.
Sandals.
No, Handel's death scene was quality.
I was like, no.
It kind of reminded me of what's the football called in Castaway? Is it Wilson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The volleyball.
Yeah.
Yeah, volleyball. Well, you say volleyball, I say football.
You say football, I say soccer ball.
Oh.
Actually, no, I say football. I say football too, don't worry.
Okay. And I don't even like football, but even I've got to draw the line somewhere.
But yeah, I was more sad about Handles than the actual regeneration. I don't know what that says about... It's not Matt Smith, it's about the writing.
Yeah. Oh, well, the one thing I'm looking forward to is the age difference now between the companion and the Doctor, and I'm hoping it means that everyone doesn't keep falling in love with him all the time there.
They just released a picture today of him filming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he looked quite cool.
It's still in Smith's outfit though, right? It's not his new costume yet.
No, yeah, it's still Smith's outfit.
Made it look good, I thought.
Yeah, they should keep him there. I actually thought it was quite
I
cool.
really liked it.
Yeah.
So we don't stay on them. The one thing I do want to mention is the Culture Show, which is a show in London, in England, on TV, did a special called Me, You and Doctor Who. Mm-hmm. And if you get a chance to watch it, it's really worth watching. It's really well written, really well put together. And there's an interview with Paul Cornell at one point, which he said something which I'd never thought of before. And it was the fact that, everyone's like, I can't believe the BBC cancelled Doctor Who for 18 years and it was their biggest earner, blah, blah, blah. And he said, but what it did was it allowed, it was a good time because it allowed a bunch of fans to let loose because they had nothing to watch. They let loose, they wrote stuff, and they've matured into the Doctor Who writers of today. Mm. And I'd never thought of it from that point of view, actually, which I thought was quite, Yeah.
And also as well, kind of to bring it back round to the positive, because that's what we do. I'm really, really looking forward to the next series, simply because we're getting 13 episodes all in one go.
Yes.
I think one of the things that really hurt it was this sort of the split between sort of I can't remember how long the split was, but it just didn't work for me. And just having the 13 episodes. I mean, personally, I would love it. When does it start? Is it August?
Yeah, it's a while.
That to me is going to feel much more like proper Who, because it's going to run into autumn when it gets dark, and that's what I always associate with when I used to watch Doctor Who as a kid. So that's going to be really exciting. And a new Doctor, and I think he just in that little bit looked really good, and looks like he's forgotten everything, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's going to be a nice,
interesting,
fun twist. Like, do you know how to drive this thing?
Yeah.
What?
Right, what else have we got? Week that was
Sherlock.
Go on then. I'll just sit back. You guys talk about Sherlock.
It was really good. I don't know. Like, the second episode was very much not centered around any particular mystery. It was very much about the emotional aspects of the relationship.
Yeah, they're doing a lot more character. They're doing a lot more character development this series, as opposed to kind of the one-off, let's solve a mystery every episode. I mean, they still sneak that in, but there's a lot more focus on the actual characters and what's going on in their lives. And I think it's very interesting. I'm really enjoying it.
The purists will be upset.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
They are.
They are. Twitter uproar. But one thing is, I really love the addition of Mary. I think she's a fantastic addition to the show, and I like how she interacts with Sherlock a lot.
Who's that?
Watson's
wife.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think traditionally she's kind of been portrayed as antagonistic with Sherlock because they sort of compete for Watson's affections, and they're not doing that. They're doing it very differently in Sherlock, and I'm really, really enjoying the dynamic between the three of them. So the first two episodes I've absolutely loved. So I'm on board with what they're doing.
I've only seen the first episode, which I loved, and I thought what was great for me was I'd enjoyed it so much. I hadn't realised the second episode followed so close behind it. Mm-hmm. So I think it was yesterday, and someone was talking about it. I said, "Oh, it's episode 2." I said, "Yeah, it came out on Sunday." I was like, "Oh, great!" So I'm planning to sort of like watch that at some stage this week. But no, I really enjoyed it, and I don't want to say anything because I don't want to sort of spoil it for Dave in terms of the way they kind of tackled how he survived what happened at the end.
It's good stuff, dude.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. The first 5 minutes, just it's good stuff. It's shot really well. The acting is brilliant. It's really funny. What I quite like as well is it's given the fact it's a kind of detective show. It's really quite light-hearted and quite fun, which is quite a nice change. And just the way the way his mind works. I've always liked that throughout the other series as well. I just love the way they show when you meet someone and you sort of see him assessing them and stuff.
There's a great bit when you watch the second one with that particular style and showing how he thinks about people. It's quite good.
And obviously,
we've been so excited that we're here while it's live that literally the minute that it finishes on BBC, we're on iPlayer watching it immediately. We're just so excited. Wait. We're like, is it time for Sherlock? Is it time? Is it time? Is it time?
And we're going to have to wait for the third one.
Yeah.
That's like that.
It is. It's like a box of chocolates. You never get the one you want.
And that's the thing with Sherlock as well. Is you get those 3 episodes like in your face, bang, really close together, then that's it.
Yeah, I usually let it drag out a bit.
I like that.
I love it. I love
The
it.
thing is, there's so much TV.
Yeah.
When there's like 100 episodes of stuff, I get so I can't. Especially life's busy. I can't catch up.
Yeah.
If there's 3, you go, and if you fall behind, you go, it's only 3. I can do that.
Yeah.
Well, also you could make the argument that it really kind of like increases everybody's appetite for it, because look at the ratings for the first episode. Nearly
Well,
10 million people.
There's no space for filler episodes or
Yeah.
nonsense
Yeah.
as well. I mean, that's why I much prefer the sort of England thing of 13 episodes.
I agree, absolutely.
And also, can we just stop this mid-season
finale
stuff?
Yeah.
If it's a finale, it's an end of a season. It's a mid-season finale.
Speaking of
Americans, admit that you're finally doing 13 episodes a season.
Yeah.
speaking of finales, firstly, just a very quick shout out to Arrow, still loving the show. But I watched the final 2 episodes of the BBC's other flagship show, Atlantis.
Oh.
Oh.
You're still watching it.
Now, what
I gave up.
I didn't watch every episode,
Uh-huh.
but I do have a thing where I do like to try and say at least I've given it a fair go, and I kind of like watched. Probably in total, I think I probably watched about 6 episodes, maybe. I don't know.
I can feel it coming. Good.
And I watched the last 2 episodes, and I kind of sat back, and then I sort of looked at myself in the mirror, and just kind of said, "Why?"
Oh.
Ooh, I was actually sitting here cringing.
But what my thing was, the reason I wanted to watch the finale was because I remember Primeval, Dave.
Oh yeah.
And I always remember that first series, we were all a little bit, it's not as good as it could be, blah, blah. And then it got to that last episode, and it just ended in such a way that it just made you kind of think, actually, it was worth it just to watch that episode.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We'd sort of come back and effectively they'd rewritten time. It was brilliant. And there was a part of me that kind of hoped they could sort of pull something like that off with Atlantis. And they did throw in a twist. But for me, it was just nonsense.
Yeah, I stopped after the 4th episode.
And
I had to try 3 times to watch it, and I finally got through it after the 3rd try.
right, and I'm going to throw in a spoiler, right? So it's a spoiler, but I know you lot don't care, but it's for everyone else.
Yeah, go for
Right?
it.
So the whole point in the first episode of Atlantis, it starts in the 21st century. And he goes, he's basically in a submarine, and he's going to find his dad, right?
Where's his dad?
Gone.
He's gone. He's
Atlantis?
yeah, he's disappeared, but we don't know because it's never explained. Because literally, it's a 5-minute scene. But anyway, he goes to Atlantis to find his dad, and in the last episode, he meets his dad.
Oh!
Right, but here we go. His dad's a leper. He's in a leper colony, and Jason doesn't know it's his dad.
He's been looking for his dad.
Yeah, we know because we've been told. The oracles kind of said,
Is his face covered or something?
No.
What says what?
I know. So I'm now thinking. So what was he? Did his dad disappear when he was a baby? If so, why is he gone on? Why is he? I just sat there just thinking, what the hell?
I didn't look at any pictures.
You started grumbling
Before he left.
Did you start grumbling at yourself as soon as you started really thinking through this whole thing?
Well, the problem was I didn't even really need to think. Because surely, just from a practical point of view, I'm gonna go off to find my dad. You would at least have a photo of the guy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We were just saying that.
Do you know, if you've not seen him before, take a photo with you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the
Do
impression,
some research.
the impression that you get, and I mean, Shar can sort of correct or disagree, but the impression that I got from that first episode was that he knew who his dad was.
Yeah, it seemed like he was very, adamant about going to find him and knew exactly what
Yeah.
he was going to do. It wasn't like there was a question like, I don't know who he is. How am I going to find him with all these people? I don't know what he looks like. None of that.
And it's the dialogue is quite wooden. Then again, the dialogue was quite wooden with Merlin to begin with and all that sort of stuff. But the way they treat Mark Addy's character, and he plays Hercules,
Big guy.
yeah, it's just embarrassing because it's just the same lines. Oh, you're fat. Oh, you drink a lot. Oh, you fat. Oh, you fart. Oh, you drink a lot. Every episode.
Yeah.
It's just like change the record.
They're trying to recreate that chemistry. That kind of thing that they had with Merlin is just not working.
Well,
it's the same formula over again. You can't do it again.
Recreate stuff.
No.
You have to create. You try and recreate stuff, you're in trouble. Yeah, it's like forcing lightning to hit twice, which is quite easy if you've got some copper piping and there's a thunderstorm. But bad analogy aside, stop trying to recreate stuff, people. Create stuff.
Well, that was the whole problem with the way they approached it, didn't they? I mean, they were billing it as the Merlin replacement, and it's never going to live up to that, because they just don't have that same chemistry. I think that was really rare that the two characters had that chemistry that there's no way they're going to be able to recreate it. And so they better stop building it up to that.
Well, I think the other things as well, I mean, chemistry aside, I mean, and we said this before, in the first season of Merlin, I think maybe second season it got better. First season of Merlin, the guy who played, is it Bradley? He played
Arthur. Yeah.
Bradley James.
He was wooden.
Mm-hmm.
He was wooden. But you kept watching it because Merlin, the guy who played Merlin, was knocked it out of the park. He was really good from day dot. Anthony Stewart Head was really good. Everyone was really good around him. So that was okay. And then sort of like, Bradley caught up and he was brilliant. He got really good. In this one, there's no one kind of carrying it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Everyone's just a bit, Mark Addy, bless him, just feels like he's dialing it in. And I keep thinking this is the same guy who's just come off Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But also that like woodenness worked for Bradley, for Arthur.
Yes.
Because he is this kind of standoffish royal pret, which is what Merlin calls him,
Yeah.
And it's Merlin that really draws him out of his shell. So that didn't work against him, and it wasn't like, while it was obvious that he was wooding, it worked with his character. It sounds like this guy is just kind of...
Well, there's nothing there.
Yeah.
There's nothing to keep you coming back to continue watching it personally. Like, that's why I stopped. It was like, there's too much good TV out there.
Yeah.
And there's too much of it to, spend a lot of time on stuff that's kind of mediocre.
I mean, I was just going to say, on the flip side of that, which is a shame because obviously Atlantis has got a second series and this hasn't. This has now been cancelled. I've now finished watching...
I can hear the ire in your voice.
I've now finished watching all of season 2 of Ripper Street?
Ripper Street, yeah. Season
2. I've got episode 1 of season 1 ready to go on my computer.
Yeah, and I've got to say, if that's how you're going to go out as a show, as in we're not doing any more, that's how you go out. That second season.
I've got a question. I've got a question. So I haven't started it. It's finished. Is it good enough that even though I know it's done,
yes.
Right. Alright.
Yeah, that's what I pretty much heard. It's no question.
Yeah.
See, I've just got bone to pick with like Siobhan because I spent a lot of time going, hey, Barry's told me about this thing called Ripper Street and it's meant to be really, really good. She's like, well, yeah, okay, we'll give it a go one day. And I'm like, well, we'll give it a go. No. What about today? No. Then I come home one day and she went, hey, Ripper Street was on TV. It was really good. We should watch it. Oh, man.
But apparently, aren't there rumors or talks about somebody else possibly picking it up?
I've heard that.
Yeah.
So
there's talks of, I think, Netflix or someone like that maybe picking it up. I'm not sure. I mean, I hope they do. Such a good series. It really was, and the music was brilliant, and the way it was shot was brilliant. Such a shame.
It kind of makes you like kind of a bit angry that something like Atlantis has already gotten a second season pickup without half the season. It's finished airing here, but not in the U.S. It's still like I think halfway.
Well, if they're going with the ratings argument, which is why they said that they canceled Ripper Street,
they can't say that about that because Atlantis is.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. What are Atlantis' ratings like? They can't be any.
It's dismal. It's dropped since its premiere. I've been following it. It's just been continually dropping viewers. It only had like I think it started with like maybe 5.4 million or something to that effect, and it's steadily been dropping to 4 and 3. The first part of the season finale got like a 5 something million or whatever overnight. The second part dropped to like 3 million.
Wow, they lost 2 million.
Too many people decided they didn't need to come back to the second part.
Yeah.
They decided they didn't care.
Usually some people come back because they just want to see how it ended, even if they don't like it. But,
right.
Oh, well.
So that's telling you something. I mean, from the premiere in the U.S., I think it was like 800,000, which isn't for a cable network, a small cable network. It's not awful. It's not great either. But it dropped to like 200,000 the second episode. Like it's really not doing well.
Wow.
That's not good.
I don't know if it's just because it's a BBC. Like a lot of what's happening, if I say it's like BBC America, BBC co-production. It's a lot of like being co-funded by the American side as well. So I don't know if they've just too heavily invested in it to, stop it or what the case is. But it's not doing. If it's the ratings they're talking about, then they can't really say that about Ripper Street.
Well, let's talk about mediocre TV. Having talked about bad TV, it's only because we've been really tired in this house, and so we've just been trying to do easy watching when we've got the chance. So we've been catching up on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
I knew you were going to say. I knew you were going to bring up Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
This is the most unpositive episode we've done at all.
I'm really liking it.
Oh.
I'm really growing. I'm growing.
Oh.
In it as well. We're sitting at both Siobhan and I have gone, I've quite enjoyed that. And I'm not saying that the acting's brilliant. There's still a lot of bland characters, but I'm warming to it as I go along. And I thought I was pretty much done. I was just watching out of loyalty, but I'm actually enjoying it.
Are you going with the A-Team suggestion that I made?
What was that?
Whereas if you watch it like it's an episode of the A-Team in the 90s.
Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah, maybe.
dun,
Maybe.
Dun.
I don't know. I mean, I watched it the last couple of episodes because there was an episode I liked with the girl who was one of Coulson's old.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, and I was like, it's just from what everyone's saying, that's obviously just a blip. And episodes after haven't been as good, but they've been better than the ones before. And I don't know, I'm in.
No, I suppose put that way. There has been a growth. If you're looking at it literally from comparing episodes, one episode to a previous episode, then there has been, because I quite enjoyed the one, and I haven't seen the second 4 movie, but I quite enjoyed the one where they were looking for the 3 parts of the
staff.
Yeah, which had been left over from that whatever happened in the 4th film, and I quite enjoyed that. But one of my problems has been that it's tended to be the co-stars and the sort of people on the periphery of the main agents that I've really enjoyed, as opposed to the agents themselves.
I've got over that. I'm all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I watched it.
The main thing is you're enjoying something about it.
Yeah. I suppose the other thing as well, the thing I've had to stop doing because it's just no point, is I had to completely turn off the compare it to Arrow tip, because that just don't work. No. Different beast.
Yeah, I mean, think I'm in the boat where I've stuck with it out of loyalty because it's Marvel and I want Marvel to do well. I have to say I did really enjoy the mid-season finale because they focused on the thing that I was interested in, and
I haven't got there yet.
Okay, so I'm not going to say it, but there was a lot of hype sort of leading up to it, around Coulson and blah blah blah.
Oh, right.
blah, blah.
I think that's what maybe I'm enjoying at the moment, is because they've started to, if the mid-season thing's about Coulson, they're just starting to build up to that. He's starting to really
question it. Yeah,
he started with the I feel different, and of course you feel different.
Every time they say Tahiti, he spits out that that line.
Well, the episode I've just watched, someone said something. I heard you went to eat, and he went, it's a. You kind of see him go, why do I keep saying that?
Exactly.
And suddenly, I just kind of found myself going, and sitting up a bit.
Yeah.
Actually, and it was just.
So that's why I liked it more toward the end, because they started focusing more on that, which is the piece that I was interested in, and that's what everybody wanted to know about going into it, and they just kind of made it about Skye, and I really don't care about her character at all. So it's like, I feel like, they're building up to it, and I think that it's going to get better, and I'm happy I've stuck with it. But so far, I've really only stuck with it out of loyalty to Marvel.
Well, I mean, a lot of people did that if we're going to do the Joss Whedon analogy, a lot of people did that with Doll's House. A lot of people found Doll's House kind of hard going at the beginning, but I thought it was awesome.
I liked it.
I liked it.
Yeah.
It's interesting though, because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is a very polarizing show. It's like the people who love it will like defend it like crazy, and the people who hate it, they just go at each other constantly on the internet and on Twitter. It's very polarizing. There's no kind of like in between.
Well, I'm kind of in between.
Yeah.
In that, I could totally understand why people aren't, thrilled into it. But I am. But I completely understand why people aren't. But it's because we were talking about what's it called, Merlin. Just for some reason, watched The Tunnel, which has got what's her name and who played Gwen.
Oh yeah, Angel Colby.
Yeah, she's the wife of the main cop in it. Show's awesome.
We're not getting that. They're remaking it again for the U.S. So
they did already.
The bridge or whatever. So I haven't seen any version yet.
Well, basically, the Danish version came out,
right?
Which was about a body found on a bridge between two different countries. So you had to get two different cops.
Yeah.
And then the English said, "Well, let's make it English." So they had the body being found right in the middle of the Eurotunnel. And I thought, well, that makes sense. And in the American one, it's found on a bridge between America and Mexico.
The border. They should have called it that instead of the bridge.
They should have. Just saying, awesome. But that's by the by.
Cool. Has anyone been watching Dracula?
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually.
A friend of mine is in that.
Ooh. Who?
So, someone I knew from the City Lit where I teach, and when I was a student there. And what's her name? Mel Liebert, her name is. I don't know what character she plays, but she's been doing really well since we both went for the same advert, and she got it and I didn't.
No.
It's probably because you're not a woman, mate.
All good looking. No, wait, hold on. no, let me take that back. No, but how is it? Has anyone watched it?
Yeah, it's okay. I think there's enough keeping me interested to keep me when you think you're just about to give up, something happens, you're like, oh wait, I need to watch next week.
It's like I always get lost in the middle of the episode, but by the end they've always got that kind of like hook that keeps you coming back for the next episode. So I've been enjoying it so far.
It's a honey trap. Get out while you can.
Probably not as much as I thought I would, but I've been enjoying it. Yeah, I'll keep watching.
Yeah, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head, really. I've watched 4 episodes now, and given the fact, it's Dracula, Prince of the Undead, and nasty piece of work and all that, it's a bit slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a very fast-moving show. The American accent thing drives me absolutely.
His American accent is terrible.
Where's he from?
Ireland.
And
Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. I mean, he's Irish.
And he's playing an American.
Well, the alter ego of Dracula in this version is an American.
It's an alter ego.
Yeah.
It's an alter ego.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jonathan Grayson, I think his name is.
No, Alexander.
Alexander Grayson. Yeah.
So, is he a mild-mannered something by day? And
it's kind of almost
blood by night.
It's almost a little bit of a cross between Dracula and the Count of Monte Cristo.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he has this persona that he puts on that explains his appearance in London, and he's just this American tycoon who's just going around irritating all of the, going around irritating basically everybody,
as we do,
as Americans do. But his American accent is horrible. It's cringeworthy to listen to. It's probably
Hi there.
How
you doing?
Yeah.
Oh jeez.
But put it this way. As someone who hadn't even considered watching it and hasn't got much time in their lives, is it worth me giving it a go?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, I would give it a couple episodes, but yeah, I would definitely try it.
I would try it. I personally, I don't know, you might stick with it. I personally think you'll
stuck with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You might have well 10 times better than that.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't say it's 10 times better, but
Yeah, I like some. It's a bit steampunky in places, and they've got a sort of, they've got hunters in there. I think the show has the potential to be very good.
Yeah. Agreed.
I think that's what I can see. Is the show has the potential to be very good. At the moment, it's not. it's all right, but the potential is there and you can see it. I do, however, wish they'd watched Ripper Street and realised that London really isn't that foggy all the time.
Oh no, they didn't.
I mean, there's a couple. I was like, really? Is it really that foggy?
But that's atmospheric, you know. It's Dracula.
It's not. It's just annoying. It's just annoying.
You know, fog makes me think of vampires. So no, it really doesn't.
I was gonna
Oh,
say-
no.
I was gonna say, she'd been here a couple of weeks
But, you
ago.
know, it's creepy. You know, it's creepy to have the sort of, you know. I think that sort of thing doesn't bother me. It's just I think that it's a lot slower than I would like it to be. But
when they
Interesting.
did the bits in England, did everyone say, "Cool, blimey, Guff"?
So surprisingly, there's not as much of that as I thought there would be.
Okay. Well, let me ask. I don't know if you're watching it, Barry. So let me ask. I don't know if Mirjana's watching it, but so I'm going to ask. What's her name? Shar.
Me?
Yes. Sorry, it's been a long day. I've watched one episode. How's Sleepy Hollow doing?
Oh, it's so good.
Okay,
Seriously.
it's got to be an American thing.
It's got-
It's got to be. It's that whole talking in.
They're high-fiving now.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Sleepy Hollow is
It's
brilliant.
It's phenomenal.
I haven't seen any episodes yet.
Oh my god!
Love
What is
it.
wrong with you?
It was-
Get
it's-
on it.
It's like it's a perfect example of a show that could have gone wrong so easily.
Because I think that's why
It sounds ridiculous.
It's why I haven't rushed back to episode 2 because I'm like,
But
No.
there's like this chemistry between the main two characters, Ichabod and his partners, as it were. They have this really, really good banter and this really good chemistry, and it works. I don't know why it works, but it works. It's very entertaining.
Yep. And there's interesting.
Two thumbs up.
2 thumbs up, and his interactions with kind of the 21st century. It's
Modern
the
things.
modern things.
Yeah.
This is very, funny as well.
yeah.
But it's really, really good.
It's already renewed for a second season, so
Okay.
Oh, cool.
How
Yeah.
about the Tomorrow People?
Pretty good.
not what I wanted,
Not-
but good.
Yeah.
Not what I wanted. See, it's so not what I wanted. I don't know if I've got the energy to go back for it.
What did you watch? Did you watch the original?
What when I was younger?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
It's I thought.
So it might be different for you guys then, because for me,
But, no, but even if it wasn't, it's once again there's people with extraordinary abilities, and once again there's a government agency hunting them, and once again there's a relation involved,
But there's
and once
Mark
again
Pellegrino.
there's a missing dad, and then I'm like, oh,
But it's Mark
really?
Pellegrino. He's
Does that-
fantastic. I
Well,
love
I've just
him.
hit all
Jedediah.
these things
Yes.
before.
he's good. Yeah.
So
And
I mean, I would give it a chance if I've been enjoying it. As for me, it started out slow, but it's really sort of picked up. By the time they hit that mid-season finale, they were on a pretty good roll.
yeah.
So
mid-season.
mid-season
I
finale.
Should we just have a consensus among ourselves to say season finale?
Yeah.
Finale.
I think when Arrow comes back, I'll just start saying I'm watching season 3 of Arrow now.
Yeah.
Very briefly, because we're at an hour and 16, and I realise we've just talked TV.
Yay!
But this is... this is one for Dave, and by extension, Mirjana, because I know she's looking for new comics to read. This isn't a new comic, it's quite an old one, but Dave put me onto it, but Dave probably doesn't know that I'm still reading the comic, and that's The Sword.
Juice squeezers.
What?
No?
He's trying to be funny, it will pass.
No, there's a comic from Dark Horse called Juice Squeezers.
No.
It's billed as scrawny kids versus giant bugs. You'll love
No.
it. Okay, moving on.
The Sword.
Ah.
The sword.
Yeah, so The Sword, cue Wikipedia.
No.
Like Excalibur.
I'll read it. Dara Brighton is a young paraplegic college student with a happy, normal life until 3 strangers knock on her family's door demanding a particular sword. After the assassination of her mother, father and sister, Dara is left in the burning house and crashes into the basement, where she finds the sword, giving her incredible powers and setting off an incredible search for vengeance.
Oh.
Yeah, if you could see the looks
I just-
on these two girls' faces.
I just got chills.
I know. I have goosey bumps.
And I am now on issue 18. I think I've just got issue 18 today, and it's 24 issues in all. And that's what's quite good about it, is it's 24 issues and that's it. So it's not an ongoing, it's not an ongoing sort of title or anything like that. And apparently they're doing a film version of it. Apparently,
that will be awesome. This really lends itself to a film.
I think it lends itself to a TV series more.
I could see that.
Yes, no, I'll go with that.
I can't. Obviously, I haven't finished it yet, but the 18 issues that I've read, I can't recommend it enough. I think it's brilliant. I think it's really, really good. And some of the flashbacks to sort of Dara's sort of life beforehand and stuff like that, and the way they sort of interlink it with what's going on with her now, just spot on. It's actually one of my sort of fave comics at the moment, actually. So I would recommend you pick this up, Mirjana. It's Mirjana.
I'm looking it up right now as we
speak. Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. By the Luna Brothers.
Yeah. Great stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
Yay, new comics.
Please, if there's one comic you read from last year, or one series that you get into, let it be Hawkeye. That's all I'm saying.
Have you read it, Barry?
No,
I haven't actually. Dave was telling me about it in the last episode, and I meant to pick it up, but I haven't had a chance to yet.
The best episode is the one from the point of view of the dog.
Yes.
It's one of the most creative comics I've read this year. Have I talked about Vivian Schwartz?
No.
I met her at Thought Bubble, and really nice girl. And she gave me a copy of a comic she's done called Rabbit Stew, which I looked at it. It's really nicely put together, beautiful cover, really nice texture. The art is beautiful, freaky ass story, and it's about it's just this bit where you get these parents of this girl, and they're going, I thought it was a kid's story. It's definitely not.
Oh.
And it's like, there's one bit where the parents are like, oh no, please don't let her find out. Please don't let her find out. And then this kind of rabbit skeleton turns up the door, and they're like, oh, it turns out this their little daughter's got some kind of freaky ass mental power, which is kind of reanimating their dead rabbit. But anyway, it's a great creepy ass story. And she did it. And I mean, look at that. I'm just showing the girls a picture of it. I mean, you can get a picture of the texture of it. It was 24 hours. It was a 24-hour comic. She put that together.
Wow.
And she did an absolutely awesome comic as well, which I had to read as part of the British Comic Awards last year. And I'm just saying she's one to watch. Vivian Schwartz. Cool. So
cool.
Yeah, that's all. Let's leave it on that, shall we?
Yeah.
Sure.
So, you know the drill, people. Let us know if you agree with what we said. If you disagree, tell us. You can email us at thegeeks@geeksyndicate.co.uk. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Twitter. You know how. And don't forget to check out the spanking new website. Woohoo! We like a bit of spanking with Geek Syndicate. I actually meant to keep that in my head. Geeksyndicate.co.uk. It looks good. Don't forget the online PDF magazine from Geek Syndicate. Over 100 pages of goodness is waiting there to be downloaded for you to put on your device and take with you and read in front of people so they can go, hey, what's that? Geek Syndicate magazine, get it free. So would you guys like to say goodbye?
Peace out, home slices.
The hell?
Do you now want to say goodbye properly?
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.
She looks really upset.
You completely took away her thunder.
So much.
Now, I tell you what, you can say goodbye in the British accent. There you go.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it.
You can even say pip pip.
Laters.
That was good. That was good.
Was it?
Barry.
No. Bye-bye. That's where I'm going.
It's quite sexy, that one, though.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Bye-bye.
So, until next time, Geek Syndicate.
We out.
Bye.